Dear brothers, dear sisters, the story of one of our sister that she told for us to tell you, and in this story she tells how she fell by the tricks of Iblis and hopes that her story of her life will be a lesson to many of. She says that the holiday of Eid al-Adha, and in the village family and children they were all gathering to buy a sheep lamb for Kurban, and she told her children that we would this year we're going to buy a lamb as well for the sacrifice of the festive Eid al-Adha, and the husband called. She said that his husband worked for one of the organization. He called and said that on Eid al-Adha he wouldn't be there because their organization are undergoing layoffs, and our sister said she asked her husband if we're going to cut Eid this year. My husband said I'll send the money to buy a lamb in our village. There was a shepherd who sold sheep lambs. The kids and I went to buy one and we were happy. We brought this lamb home, and at home we had a barn, and we left it in the barn, and during the day when we'd go out we'd leave it in the yard. And there was this one time when my husband called once and said that I might get laid off, and then our sister said that I was in doubts. I told the kids about my kids, we need to save money, and what do you think if we give this lamb back to the shepherd and take the money? They got upset. They said, "Mother, please don't do this." But I was thinking, how do I get out of this situation and pay attention to this exact moment? That's when the Vasvas starts, and close to our sister. And we also have many times in our life. There are many times when we want to do some good deed, and at some point we get caught in Iblis was to do it or not. And our sister says, I've decided that I would get up in the night. I got up in the night. I took a handkerchief, went into the barn and tied the kin of the lamb so that it wouldn't make any, and that my children wouldn't hear it during the day. I decided that in the daytime I would tell the children that she had been either stolen or run away. And after that, I'm gonna go to the shepherd and get this. The kids woke up and they started asking about my mother. There's no lamb in the yard. I said maybe it ran away or was stolen. And I sent the kids to school. When they went to school I went to the shepherd and I told him that I wanted that lamb and I wanted my money back. The shepherd said, "Oh my sister, why are you doing this?" I told him that my husband could get fired and we have an income. We get the money from. It's only from his. We only have one source of income. Then the shepherd said, "I'll lend it to you. You can pay it back slowly." I said no. Then he said that the worship you do for the sake of the Almighty can give it to you there too. I said no too. And then I asked him to come at a time when the kids were in school. Then he came. I showed him the barn. He went into the barn. And after a while he called me. When he called me, I went in too, and I saw that the lamb had died because I had tied her mouth shut. And the shepherd turns to me and says, "Oh my sister, look at your condition, your intention, what it led to." And in those moments of a second I realized that I had made a big mistake. I've lost the lamb. I've lost the worship. I've lost my children, the joy of the feast day, and I lost my money. After that, I also paid that shepherd to clean up this dead lamb. Look, our dear brothers and sisters, at the condition when we obey Uwasa or we obey Iblis, what we come to is that it is very important that we know the solution of rewarding the dignity of the feast, of the dignity of the sacrifice, and in no way to change the worship the Almighty for the worldly things we've been envelops us. And it is the sacrifice of an animal, which many people ask, and the question that is asked, if a person has the opportunity and if he cuts this sacrificial animal, does it come from his whole family or just one? If this man is the owner of the family, has the opportunity, and also the spouse also has the means to keep his store, Then both husband and wife must separately to cut a lamb on Eid days for both of them. Iswab is necessary according to Hanafi madhab, and also for example if a man laughs to cut Eid sheep on the days of Eid and on those days he lost money, meaning on these feast days he has lost his money, he is not a wabo to slaughter the Eid on these days. And the question which a lot of people ask, when I should cut the sheep and when I shouldn't. First of all, we should know what is probably meant here, as it is written in the book of Luba Shar, of the book Muqtasar Kadori by the author who is Maydane. He says that if a person has property on a holiday, it's a holiday and 2 more days. After that, if he has any property that is not part of his basic uses that he enjoys in the amount of 500.000 approximately, then it is wajib to cut Eid on these days. And if he does not have such property, then it is desirable for him not to is wajib. And in these cases it is necessary to know that if we have the opportunity and we do this worship there is a huge benefit for us. What is the benefit? You may ask. The first thing is that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in numerous hadiths says that every hair of this lamb sheep that has a horn on it becomes a cause of reward in the next world, also atonement for sins and also ours. About that man who has the opportunity and does not sacrifice animal, let him not come near the place where we perform namaz. This person is deprived of the favor of Allah Almighty. And the Almighty also says in the Quran, attention, Su Khazar and Fasi of the book of Tafsir Kurtu. He writes that the ayat which goes you perform namaz means the festive namaz of Eid, Bayram Wahar, and sacrifice an animal. On these days there is a command from the Almighty. Because of this it is necessary for you, according to the Hanafi madhab and the dua that we recite. Many people ask, what is the dua prayer to be recited when we bring a sacrificial animal at this time? What should we say? What should we recite? Say, Bismillah. Akar, we say, O Almighty, in your name, O Almighty God, you are great. This is from you. You gave it to me. You gave it to me. It's a gift from you. I make a sacrifice for you. You, O Most High, accept it. The Almighty give us the opportunity and the power that we may be among those people who do not fall under your doubts and deprive you all the favors of the Most High. And it is necessary that we have a good intention for the worship that we. Why? Because our Prophet said that your deeds depend on your. If I have the intention of bringing a sacrificial animal on the feast days, for meat or for my neighbors or for glory or for the sake of saying, said of me that I'm so pious, I get only this and I am deprived of the favor of Allah Almighty. And it is also necessary that we try to please on these days our children, our families, our relatives, and the more people we please, the more we will receive gifts from Allah Almighty. Today you are pleasing for the servants of the Most High on the Day of Judgment, inshallah. Allah will make you happy. May Allah help us in this. May Allah help us. May Allah not deprive us His favor in this world and the next. May Allah make us happy. People, dear friends, write in the comments how useful this video was for you, and also what topics would you like to see videos on our channel. We will definitely take into account your wishes.